Friendship supreme. Friendship supreme. Finding the geek within.
Hey everybody, my name's Michael.
My name's Cleve.
And welcome back to another exciting episode of Friendship.
Supreme.
Where the podcast dares to ask, what is that woman doing out here in Vietnam? I don't know, probably trying to start a family.
God. So, I hope everybody enjoyed Animania because that's over. We decided Jurassic World, the last one, is coming out June 10th, 2022. Jurassic Park came out June 11th, 1993. So we just decided the rest of June we're just going to talk dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs.
Right?
Dino DNA.
Let's be real. Jurassic Park has had a huge influence on a lot of things. I think that was like my first yeah, dinosaurs are fucking badass. Like when you saw
the lawyer get eaten out of the toilet.
Maybe not that one.
That's the moment that stuck with me for forever.
That's fair.
Or when she's digging through dino shit.
When you gotta go, you gotta go.
She's been eating berries! Who's letting her eat these berries?
The fucking pile was bigger than the fucking dinosaur itself. Anyway, but we're not going to talk about any actual Jurassic.
Fuck no, we're not.
Licensed shit. Today we are talking Velocipastor.
This has been requested before, by the way. We've had viewers who are like, well, you should watch this, and we're like, we'll get to it eventually. And I'm so glad we finally got to it.
Here we are. It's a movie. What did you how'd you feel? How'd you feel about that movie?
First couple of times I looked into it, I was under the impression that it was very much done like genuine, like they wanted it to be good. Later on, the director's like, just kidding, it was actually a joke. I think people didn't see his vision, and he's like, it was a joke, guys. What are you talking about?
Well, I went to Wikipedia because I was like, what are we calling this? And it did say comedy. But, however, Doug Jones plays this main character probably the most serious I've ever seen anybody act ever. It's like a Will Smith type of commitment. Like, he digs into that fucking role. So, I mean, take it as you will.
When he said he felt hungry, I felt hungry.
Yeah, it really transferred.
When he's sitting at the seance table and he's like, I have this feeling of emptiness, like I can't complete myself. It's like, no, that's not it. I'm and then for 5 minutes he's like, I'm hungry. And then he, pops the eye out of a fucking priest.
My favorite part is that his little T-Rex arms come before anything else does.
Okay, so the box.
Let's start from the beginning here.
The box art shows him with hands that are kind of like makeup done like reptile-y, like scales, and then just like dagger-ish fingers. I would have preferred that.
Nope. Full-on fucking rubber gloves.
I looked today. I went to 2 stores today to try to find those fucking gloves.
No go. Let me tell you. I'm getting out of order here, but the dinosaur. We'll talk about the reveal of the dinosaur in a minute. So Doug is a pastor who parents die 2 minutes in.
But that's what parents do.
Yeah. In a car fire explosion that you never see because you're just supposed to know special effects are there for a car being blown up, which is fair, I guess.
That shit costs money.
He takes it, man. You gotta tell me. So he takes time away from the pastor life and goes to China He's told to go where
Oh,
God would find him.
I'm gonna tell you now.
Go ahead. I felt like you had
Oh my
something.
god.
You had thoughts about that. Please.
He said, yeah, like he said, he's like, the other priest is like, first of all, he says, parents die, that's what happens. He goes, your parents died, so that's what happens. Get over it. Also, I love that the videography when we're just staring at the wall of the chapel and just fucking all over the place. Couldn't keep the camera steady. Anyway, so yeah,
that has to be part of the joke, right? It's got to be.
His friend is like, go to a place where God isn't, and if he still finds you, then he's with you within. Why is this motherfucker running through the forest? Just a random forest. There's gotta be a park in the back of their neighborhood, and it just all of a sudden the words come flying across China, and he looked so serious when he looked at the screen. But I looked at Katie, and she's like, "Why the fuck is he in China?" I said, "No, that's not what you should be focusing on. We should be focusing on the fact that this man just said go where God isn't." And he's like, "I know, the Chinese."
Yep, that's the first thing I thought. And I was like, dude. Does any forest look like this? You could have picked anywhere. No. You could have picked anywhere. Anyway, the whole movie is shot with just a porn level of quality. Like,
I did expect it to be a porn several times.
Anyway, so he gets this woman's being chased who has an artifact, and she gets hit with an arrow. She gives him the artifact cuts his hand. Boom, now he turns into a dinosaur when he's angry. He's a Jurassic Hulk.
Him cutting his hand on the branch / the artifact was probably one of my favorite acting moments ever. He walked by the branch, hit it bumped off of him, and then he was like, ah! You see his hand just completely destroyed.
So, after this, he doesn't know that he's turning into a dinosaur, right? And he blacks out Moon Knight style and saves a hooker who might be my favorite character.
Carol?
Second at least.
Yeah. Definitely seconds.
I'm going to say number one based on screen time, but let's continue.
Oh, that's fair.
Because let me tell you, we run into a character that you could make a whole movie about. And I'd have to know more.
I want to live his life.
So okay. So they decided they're going to work together to kill bad people. And
not before him calling her a whore and saying he wants nothing to do with her because she has the sins of flesh. Completely skipping over the whole Mary Magdalene thing, by the way. He's like, what? A whore? Not in my house.
One of my favorite jokes in this, because I like it, just to the level of writing. And she was like, I mean, she tells him he's a hooker. And he's like, you're a hooker? And she's like, and pre-med law, but nobody's ever surprised about that. I was like, that's some good writing. She was like, I'm hooking to get through school. And I'm like, all right, yeah, okay, whatever. So it eventually comes into having to take on these ninjas because action movie, right?
Christian
white ninjas.
Only some.
I like that one was just named Jenny. Anyway.
We had a couple Asian ninjas.
And I mean they beat up the ninjas. That's the movie. That's the whole movie.
This is the entire movie.
But we can definitely go into great detail about this movie because I'm sure you have plenty of things to talk about.
So if it was made as a joke, then like it takes a little bit away from it.
Mm-hmm.
Because the funny to me is like we thought this passed, but Frankie the Mermaid was the pimp. Frankie Mermaid was the pimp.
Not Frankie the Mermaid. No.
I'm sorry. Frankie Mermaid was the pimp. And the greatest line that may have ever crossed any cinema ever was, you know why they call me Frankie Mermaid? Because I'm swimming in bitches. And I just like, what?
No, what makes it better, because I was talking to Jennifer, I made her watch it. I was like, what makes it better is that you make someone say it to you. So it's been said before. He's instilling it. You know what I mean? Like it's not like, I call me Cleve because I say to myself, I tell you, you know why they call me Cleve, and you repeat it back to me. That means that you've been saying it a couple times. Like it's
Yeah.
not a one-time phrase. And you know why they call me Frankie Mermaid? And she says back, "Cause you're swimming in bitches." I was like, "Oh man, it was a lot to take in, and it was every inch of it."
If the story was done well enough, like I could get over the graphics thing. I really can. I like graphics. Like it costs a lot of money. I get it. It's fine. I can get over that. The writing was just
The writing for a comedy was next level. I feel
fair. That's fair.
the writing for a serious writer is struggling.
It's there's just a lot. There's
But
the love
by the
scene
way,
was fantastic.
oh god,
Nothing like all the transitions constantly happening. It was like I was watching the intro to a 007 movie.
it was a lot like that. This was written, directed, and edited by one man,
Hmm.
Brendan Steer, who
And he-
wasn't in the movie. I expected him to be, right? Because that's how you save money.
He is related to the older priest.
Is he?
I think.
Father Stewart?
Yeah, I think it's father. I think it's his dad.
Mm.
So there was. We go to China, right? We're in China, fighting Christian ninjas, and those Christian ninjas then come to the States to deal cocaine.
Mm-hmm.
I think we only knew two Asian people. I think that the director only knew two Asian people.
Mm-hmm. That we're gonna take that stereotypical ass job? Yeah, for sure.
And so like there was nothing better than the kid that's just wearing a fucking cut up T-shirt around his face, and that ends up being the main character's brother. Does my face look familiar now? I loved that cutback scene. Was my favorite. It might have been my favorite moment when they then cut back to him again with his family, and you just
and the brother was just there the whole time.
He's like, "You're my
just
favorite."
not on camera.
He's like, "You're my only son," and then it just pans over to the kid just standing there with a plate of pancakes. Yeah, or when he pops up in the back of the seat of the car.
Yeah, that was good.
Or his weird laugh as his boss would laugh.
There were some subtle racism here because when Father Stewart is trying to figure out what's going on with him, and he goes, "What'd that Chinese say?" I was like, "Yo,
Bro,
you easy now, easy father, you're hitting a little heavy."
When we're in fucking Vietnam, what was the point in that scene?
There was no point in that scene, which is what makes it a comedy, right? I'm gonna say because two people got backstories like back to back. It was Father Stewart and it was the other ninja. And the other ninja. Best. He was like, "This is where I die. This is it."
That's how I'm going. No, I mean the costume looked about as good as Theodore Rex, so like I'm not mad about the costume.
The dinosaur?
Yeah.
That, oh my god. You know what's so funny is I think of all the conventions we go to, or like those prank videos where you see somebody running around in the dino costume, and I'm like, those look so good. You couldn't rent one of those for the 20 seconds of footage that you needed.
When did they become ninja experts? Both him and her were. I don't think they had like a training montage of him, but his training montage was just him lifting weights every once in a while, and then just standing there.
I was really Carol was one that really surprised me because
Yes.
she was like, he was fighting one man, she was fighting three with ease.
There was a point in time when he stabbed his brother with a sword, and you can barely see Carol in the background just standing like this. And Kitty goes, "What the fuck is she doing?" I said, "She's waiting for the camera. You're not gonna do that shit for nothing."
Yeah, that was great. She was standing back and forth like a fighting game.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's
Yo.
so. Well, go ahead.
The surprise ending is what I was going to bring up next.
Mm. Go
Because
ahead.
Carol
Go ahead.
died. Carol died with
Mm-hmm.
with like a simple slice. By the way, it wasn't like he plunged into her or anything. It
Flash
was
across the chest. Maybe we
just a
lose a lot of blood.
slice.
Who knows?
Anyways, at the very end of the movie, he's like, "We worked on Carol. Surprisingly, she made it. We fucking did it." And then just sounds like smoking a cigarette, like the weirdest, creepiest fucking doctor ever to exist.
Oh, you don't take her to a real hospital.
Is that what it was? He was
So,
a vet.
this film was a feature length adaptation of a 2010 Grindhouse trailer by Brennan. Um, he made for film school as a film school project that went viral, and it kind of just took off from there. People started asking him to develop a whole film because of the trailer he made.
It's only an hour long, guys. It's
He spent $36,000 on this.
only an hour long. Go fucking watch it. It's gold. I genuinely think I'll probably watch it once a year now.
$36,000.
Not even that much, guys.
At the same time, it's a car.
I was just going to refer to it as a car. Yeah, he gave up his chance to have a nice little Subaru.
You know what? That intro though was a really solid intro with this music and everything. I was like, this isn't bad. I enjoy this. This was a good scene. So you will be happy to know that they're working on a sequel to the movie. In March 2020, the director like tweeted out like a little part of the script, but we lost the character too soon. I need more on Freddie Mermaid or Frankie Mermaid.
Frankie, yeah.
Yeah.
Hashtag bring back Frankie Mermaid. He died of a throat rip. Like,
well, I mean that'll do it. But
who goes in the confessional? Is like, I'm Frankie Mermaid. I fucked bitches and I killed people.
It's funny you say that. I just recently watched a Law and Order episode where someone came in and confessed to a rape, and the father was like, I can't say anything because.
So fun fact: a majority of states actually put a legal obligation on priests to actually turn that information over.
Interesting.
They can be held accountable for it.
Is it in New York?
I don't know. I don't
That's
remember
that's what that shows.
Yeah.
Well, the reason I say that is because I thought that seems like a big loophole that you guys are doing here. But
the only people that really push for it is the Catholic law, which the Pope's over there saying whatever he wants. Like, all right.
Yeah, they were saying like not this is about, but they were like the church will turn me away if I end up telling you what he said and blah blah. I need more Frankie Mermaid. He what did he say in the confessional? You know who I am? Frankie Mermaid. Frankie Mermaid smokes wherever he wants because his life was too hot or something along those lines. Do you remember what he said?
No.
Oh man, lost forever because you'll tell me in a year when you watch it again.
Absolutely. The line about in Vietnam was war is war and war is hell and hell never changes.
What I love the build up to this man that was obviously going to die because he was like, oh man, you get back to that girl and you make a family. You have like 15 kids and you name one after me because we'll be your old war buddy and smile like this. And you smile at him. You smile at your son that you name after me, and always remember me smiling.
Okay, so here's the strange thing about that situation, right? And I told Katie this, and it kind of annoyed me because I wanted it to pan out the way I thought it did. But the reason we had that flashback, we went to an exorcist to exorcise the Velocipastor's demons, and he says, "I haven't had to use Altair since back. I haven't talked to Altair since back in the war." And then we flash back to a man that looks a lot like him, by the way, and is named Ali.
I assumed that he went to go see Altair because of what happened to Ollie.
What was he gonna exercise a dead body back to life?
I feel like he was using them as a therapist.
Oh, okay. I thought
I don't know if
that
that
was
helps
his
you.
friend, and like, so I was like, I didn't until the credits rolled, and it was like it was two different people, and I'm like, oh, I genuinely was like, oh, that's
It,
Altair,
they look
and
similar.
and
Yeah.
and then I'm like, okay, so like, how the fuck is he still alive, and why does he have pointy ears now? What's happening?
You know, different guy.
Yeah, sure
Solve that.
was.
Solve that mystery.
And then his wife just running through the fields of Vietnam.
Let's talk about that whole scene. So,
When he shows the picture, goes, "That what a babe." Me and Katie pause and rewound and go, "You
Sar-
couldn't have found a better picture."
don't judge people, man. So Sergeant Stewart at the time has this love of his life that he's going to go home and marry and have kids with.
Fucking wig.
He then, yeah, you could have just got a younger actor, and you just chose not to. Anyway, um, she shows up in Vietnam for whatever reason, and she runs up to him to hug him, and maybe an inch in front of him is apparently a mine that she steps on, and then splatters all over him. And favorite, I think my favorite part of the line or that scene was when one of the soldiers was like, "I don't think we can save her. She's too far gone." Like she was a pool of blood. Like,
Yeah, as she's running, someone was like, "Why is that? Why is that woman here?" And someone else goes, "Probably trying to start a family because his friend had just gotten shot, saying, 'Hey, you should start a family with that wife of yours or that girl of yours.'"
you needed to know what drove him to the life of priesthood.
That's not something that I would go to Jesus about. That's one of those ones where you're like, does God exist? Because my wife somehow appeared in fucking Vietnam and died? And then,
That I think is how you just gotta exist, and that's where he found himself.
you're fighting those Viet Congs.
Or it's
They're
like
communists.
I lost the love of my life. Might as well be a pastor. So I can't be with anybody anyway.
They said, we're fighting the Viet Cong. They're communists, and that's an evil that can't hide.
There was
So they talked a lot about the Vietnamese being real sneaky and how much they hated them. And I'm like, well, let's just keep going. Yeah, I get it. You guys don't like the Chinese or the Vietnamese. I understand.
there really was a weird anyway. There was a moment where they're fighting and he got shot in the leg with an arrow, maybe?
He sure did. Yeah, it was an arrow.
And there's a transformation back from dinosaur to person.
That looks like the reel is shitting its pants. That's where it keeps like flashing and like
yeah. It was some good stuff.
Did you appreciate or notice when Pastor Stewart and the head of the Christian ninjas were speaking?
Mm-hmm.
They both understood each other but didn't speak the language.
Yes. Did you catch when Father Doug says, "I don't believe you that I transformed to a dinosaur. Dinosaurs never existed."
Katie goes, why would dinosaurs not exist? I said, because if you like devout religious people, that couldn't be. Like that's not a thing. That would speak to evolution.
I guess. I like when Carol was like, "I don't know much about God," and he's like, "I don't know much about dinosaurs." I'm like,
oh, yo, when he whipped out Crime 2 book, or All I Need to Know About Dinosaurs, that's a kid book. It was like all about dinosaurs, and it was like one of those little fucking kiddie pop-up books. If only he had flipped through it, it would have. Oh, what about when the pastor comes in? He's like, "I'm not doing anything. I'm just reading the Bible." And it's just such a fat fucking book on top of the Bible.
Yeah, a massive fucking book. So I found a Frankie Mermaid quote. Father Doug says, "What is it you'd like to confess?" And Frankie Mermaid says, geez, I guess we could cover the last 4 days. I stole some candy from this baby. Then I threw the baby in the river, so it couldn't snitch, obviously. Then, well, I pimp bitches, do drugs, sell drugs, murder people. Really, you name it, I've done it, Padre. That's the kind of character you get fucking. I hope that
Frankie
we
Mermaid's
need
a
to see if that
legend.
man went on to do more acting and anything else.
Just, I want him to speak at my funeral. I'm being honest at this point. That's what I would like. But yeah, no, this movie was solid. I think it's gonna have to become a yearly tradition for me to make Katie watch it with me. I truly enjoyed it.
Yo, Cherry, if you stuff dicks in your mouth like,
We could do sandwiches. I'd be a millionaire.
like you're doing sandwiches, I'd be a fucking billionaire by now. Oh, Frankie Mermaid.
Frankie Mermaid is just full of gold, man. He said that shit and I was crying.
He had 2 scenes and they were all worth every moment of them. God, dog.
It was amazing.
Man. I'm looking him up on IMDb right now, don't worry. Oh, he has been in other movies. Oh, he directed some other movies. Oh, I gotta know what he's about.
Well, Cleve's doing that. The director of this movie did, in fact, direct one other movie, and it actually looked semi more serious and a little bit better than this movie was.
That's good. I do have 2 more little tidbits that I thought were interesting.
Hit me with it.
So, after filming and before developing the film, the film was put in the oven and baked at 200 degrees Fahrenheit for 10 minutes to achieve an aged look. I thought that was just a filter you could add on. Also, most of the scratches on the film were achieved by Brendan Steer dragging the unprocessed film alongside the surfaces of his bathroom, the only room in the apartment with no windows and therefore dark enough to not expose the raw film. I just want to say those are impressive techniques that maybe not a lot of people would do. And there's some level of you're the guy for stuff like that.
That's fair.
Because I would have never put film in an oven because I would think that's bad for film.
I mean, you couldn't make this film worse.
I mean, you could have burnt it. That would have made it worse.
Fair.
You could have set it on fire.
Yeah,
no. I know he wants to do a sequel, but God bless him if he can just get a Frankie Mermaid film.
Remember, Samurai Cop did a sequel, and it was not nearly as good.
That's what I'm saying. I don't want to know what happened with Doug, and I want a movie within this universe. I don't want Carol and Doug. I want
Frankie Mermaid.
Frankie
fucking Mermaid. I want when Frankie Mermaid became Frankie Mermaid.
That's what I'm saying.
Origin stories?
Oh, God. We love some origin stories, don't we?
Man. Anyway.
Superhero ones. I've seen that enough.
Anyways, guys, definitely check it out. It's worth a watch if you haven't seen it. And I think it's on Prime. Is that what I watched on Prime? Which everybody has Amazon Prime these days, right? Anyways,
well, you know someone who does.
I just said anyways like 16 times. I'm so sorry. Definitely check it out, guys. We had a lot of fun watching it, and the inside jokes that we will have now that we are part of that community are endless. There is no boundaries to them, guys.
Oh, Twitch name.
Yeah, I think we're gonna no longer be Friendship Supreme. It's just gonna be Frankie Mermaid. But we if you guys have any suggestions or anything you guys would like us to watch or talk about, let us know down below in the comments. Make sure you guys hit like and subscribe. We do post episodes every week, plus additional content on top of that. We stream 5 days a week on Twitch under Friendship Supreme. If you guys want to reach us at any of our social medias, what are those social medias, Cleve?
We have Facebook, we have Instagram, we have Twitter. They are all Friendship Supreme. Except Twitter has no eyes in the word friendship, all eyes. go to YouTube, youtube.com/Friendship Supreme. We also have twitch.tv/Friendship Supreme, where you can catch us every Monday and Wednesday morning and Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday after night. After night.
After night.
Yeah.
That's when we do it.
Not in the afternoon, it's after night. Or would the daytime streams be after night?
Oh. Anyways, guys, I've been Michael. That's Cleve, and you know why they call me Frankie Mermaid?
You just wanna